Hello, stamping friends. This is Tracy Rather from Plum Crazy Stamping. And today is July 3rd, 2024. And it's time for our weekly, what I'm now calling a free live card making lesson. So I'm so happy that you can join me. If you're watching on Facebook, please sign in with the comments and let me know your name and where you're watching from. And if you're signing in on YouTube, please sign into your YouTube account or your Google account, and then you'll be able to also sign in the comments and let me know who you are and where you're watching from. Also, please use the comments to ask any questions that you have or leaving any feedback on the project that I'm doing today. So close to the 4th of July. I know some people are probably going to be enjoying fireworks tonight. It's one of my favorite months of the year and holidays of the year because I love fireworks. And maybe it's all the color, maybe it's all the sparkle and shimmer when they come down, and maybe it's those loud sounds. Actually, at the end of a fireworks show, I love those white where they go boom, boom, boom. You can actually feel it reverberate, right? Anyway, made me think of the card that I thought I would share with you today. So, hi, Geraldine. Nice to see that you're here. I'm going to go ahead and I learned a new thing with technology today. So, you're just going to see my desktop, and I think that will help see exactly what I'm doing a little better. So we're going to do this and we're going to do this. Hi, Patricia from New Jersey. Hi, Kelly. Thank you. Happy Wednesday to you too. All right, so here's the card we're going to make. And I just think it's like magic. I can't wait to show you what I layered in here to make it sparkle. I don't know if you can see, it's actually glimmer paper in the background there. Plus, oh, and I guess this is the glimmer paper that I'm using underneath the white, as well as on the top here to give it a little sparkle. We've got all kinds of our embellishments on here, some rhinestones, and we're going to keep it red, white, and blue today. So I'm going to make the red version of this card, and let me show you what I'm using. So we have the Light the Sky. This isn't in the catalog, but it is in the online exclusives. So this was featured in our last catalog as a bundle, but now you can buy the stamp set and the dies as two separate items. I am going to be using both of them today. So I'm just going to set our dies here. I already have mounted all of the stamps on my acrylic blocks just to save us a little time. And then I decided to cut the sentiment from the Light the Sky out. This little set called Happy Little Things dies to gosh, I find this being the right size for a lot of sentiments that I use. So I bought this, and I did already cut this little banner out for today. And we're going to feature colors. This is from the 2022 to 2024. So they'll be retiring at the end of this next catalog. So we still have these for a while anyway. Sweet Sorbet, Orchid Oasis, and then I'm using the Smoky Slate as kind of a silver color. So those are the stamps I'm going to be using, and I think I'm going to put them over on this side here. And all right, so I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet. So a real bright red color. Actually, I'm sorry, this is real red. And I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet from the glimmer paper that I got with the 2024 or 2020 to 2024 in colors, okay? So we're going to be using that. Real Red blends nicely with it. I used Blueberry Bushel as the card base for the other card. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm going to show you how I cut this, because the difference in these dies. So this die, if I stamp one of the fireworks from They'll Light the Sky, cuts that firework out, okay? These three dies actually are going to cut holes out of whatever paper I use with these dies, so you can see what's underneath it. And then there is a die here that does a little spray look, and then these are like little, kind of like snowflakes or stars. Okay, oops. So those, because of what I'm doing, I'm not going to use today. I'm going to focus on using my stamps. But I'm going to use the regular card front now in basic white, and that's going to get centered on my card that I folded crooked. Let's see if I can fix it a little bit. I find if I line it up again and then just press against the score line, I can straighten out the card base if I've done it crooked. All right, so then this will be centered on here. So now when I want to put this behind my card front, I'm going to cut it literally a 1/16 inch smaller than the 4 by 5 1/4, so that, you know, I don't take a chance of it sticking out around the sides, okay? And I'm going to err on the side of having more color, so I'm going to cut the lighter part out, okay? And let's see here. I'm going to do, so if I were cutting the card front, I would be cutting it at 4 inches. Oh, wait a second here. I want to cut this part off, so I'm going to do this first. Take the lightest side and put it down on the end I'm going to cut off. And then this is going to be usually card front 5 1/4. I'm going to slide it down 1/16 and then cut. All right, leave that sit here. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to go from the 4 inches and down 1/16, which is just one tick mark. It's a very small. Okay, so then I've got some of those colors left. I'll just get them out of the way here. And now what I want to show you is when you see this behind here, you can see that I line this up, and it's has very, very 1/32 of an inch around the edges. I don't know if you can see that or if it's just too small, but it is not matching up right against the card front. It's in just a smidge. Okay, so let's leave those things there, and let's do our die cutting next. So let's take these die cuts. Now what I want to do is, now you can decide to stamp and then die cut, or die cut and then stamp. Most of the time we talk about embossing, you always stamp first, then emboss. I found with this, I could do the die cutting and do the stamping, and it was fine. Because die cutting out something didn't create a problem with having this smooth enough to stamp on. But if I were embossing, it would be raising something up, and then the stamping does not look as nice as you would want it to look. So I want to use the design so I can decide how I want to stamp my other fireworks. So I am going to do the die cutting first. All right, and so I did cut this a little bit smaller than the last one. So let's see here. I'm going to have just 2 of these on here that I can fit. I don't want them to go off the edge, so I'm keeping my die cut within the card front. And then what that means is I got to turn this enough to get it to be in the right place and not go off the edge. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to use those 2 dies to actually be cutting the paper out. So I'm just going to take this over to my die cut machine and run it through quick. And I just don't want them to move while I'm transporting them from one desktop here to another. Okay, and then I'll just put on my sandwich covering here. And go ahead and die cut. All right, so let's, hi Kathy, hi Betty, hi Kay, and the other Kathy, nice to see you. All right, so I'm just going to use my take your pick tool, and I'm not going to worry about this, but by dropping this, you can get some of these pieces out, or using your take your pick tool to do that, but I'll take care of that later. But what I want to do is make sure I get all of the things that I can get out that didn't fall out right when I took the dies off. So I'm just going to press this through here. All right. And then do the same on the large fireworks. Now let me check the back and make sure that I got all the pieces off, or that will affect my stamping if there's something sitting there. So just rub my, oh, there's one. Rub my finger across it, make sure I've got all those little pieces gone. Okay, one stuck there. And there we go. All right. Okay, so now you can see that we have the die cuts. So a couple of choices you have, right? So you could just put it on the red, and that looks really nice. You could cut strips of red, white, and blue and put behind it, and you would have different colors. You could do some, oh, what am I thinking? Aqua painting, you know, with some colors behind it. Or you could put just gold foil, silver foil behind it. Right now, Glimmer Paper is Unbundled Bounty or Beauty, I think, has glimmer papers, but they're not red, white, and blue. That's why I chose this set. They had red and the blues, and then there was another, Orchid Oasis was the lighter blue on the other card. So these colors worked for, you know, the 4th of July. All right, so let's do our stamping before we put this together. So I'm just going to bring over my Pierce mat because these are photopolymer. And then since I'm using red first, I'm going to use the red stamp pad, knowing that the edges are going to be butt up against the red. So I'm using actually the Sweet Sorbet ink. Okay, and I'm going to use, let's see, I've got big, medium, and small fireworks sets. So I'm going to kind of put them in different places at different angles on the front of this card, knowing that I'm going to do 3 colors. So let's get our one of the big ones right here. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to do some more. I'm going to do all the same colors, wash the stamps, and then, you know, proceed with another color. So let's get a little red up here. And let's see, I think I can do one of these kind of off the side here. All right, let's get another one. And I have one more type here, so let's make sure we get to use that too. And probably need a little red over on this edge. Okay, so now I'm going to set this aside because I'm going to use that color ink for my sentiment, but I'm going to wash these quick so I can use another color. Oh, I'm glad it worked, that you can see the desktop bigger and better. Great. Hi, Mary Jane. You think I would be all transitioned to this new software, but I tell you, every time I make a mistake on it, though, or talk to somebody about it, I learn a little something new. So I'm glad this is an improvement. I also just got a new stand to hold my phone over the desktop to show it to you. And I hope that is even going to allow me to get a little closer. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll have that ready to go. All right, let's do some of the blue. Add a little, let's see. I don't think I'm going to use the biggest one, at least not right now. Let's try, actually, this is Orchid Oasis. I think this is such a pretty color. All right, let's get. All right. Tell you, once you get going with this, you could kind of go a little crazy. All right, let's go ahead and get some of our silver in here. So let's see, I washed that one, that's clean. This one isn't clean. All right, so let's do this one I hadn't used before. And this, I think, just kind of matches the, the sparkle, the embellishments I want to use. And let's do one more of this one. Here in the middle. There, I think we have a good splattering of them all over. I don't know if I should say splattering. That sounds dangerous. Okay, so let's start we got 2 more things to stamp. Oh, I know I wanted the silver for a reason here. And then I need the little sentiments. So this is the card insert. So that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to take this larger firework. And I'm actually going to stamp it off. And then I'm going to put it right in the center on the card insert. So it's light enough to be able to write over. That's the goal. And then, so that'll be ready to put on the inside. And then I need this. I'm going to use my Sweet Sorbet. So now I can close this. Here we go. And this says, let's celebrate. This is also a great set for New Year's. That's what I originally bought it for. And then I didn't use it. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is perfect for the 4th of July. All right, we've got our let's celebrate. Okay, now we're ready to put the card together. And I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, my goodness. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and layer our card. So here, let's just get this inside. I'm going to just use my mono adhesive here. Now I'm thinking, who sends 4th of July cards? Yeah, not so much. But how many of you get invited to a 4th of July party? Now, I'll tell you, that's something that we usually go somewhere or we have people come here. But I thought, wouldn't this be a nice thank you to put with a hostess gift, when you go to the party, or drop it in the mail after the party to let them know what a nice time you had. So that's what I would use this card for. Okay, now let's take the fireworks, and I'm actually going to turn them upside down. And I'm going to turn upside down this to glue on top of it. And what I decided to do, this I'm not going to use glue. I'm going to use a little Terran tape, because this will hold it down well, and I'm not going to have glue coming out of all the little openings. That get kind of messy. So on this Terran tape, it'll be clear when I take the adhesive covering off it, so it will work very nicely. Sometimes I forget about this as an adhesive, and I'll tell you, the more I use it, the more uses I find for it. All right. So I've got all those little, places where there's not necessarily openings, for sure. Press it down really good so that when I take the adhesive covering off, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to do that, the adhesive stays down there. So I just slide it underneath and it gives me something to pick up. And when you stick your finger to that adhesive, it really does get stuck. All right. So, oh wait, I'm going to leave this upside down so I can put this on upside down. And remember, it is such a little distance that I'm going to lay this down. Very close to the edges. And can you see the red in the background? Down here and up here. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this to the front, and I'm not going to pop this part up with dimensionals because I am going to put rhinestones that are going to stick up. So if you want to send this in the mail, I'm just going to make it easy. I would still cover it and put a, 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock, just set it on top of this so that when you mail it, your sequins or your, more likely the rhinestones, don't pop through the envelope in the mail. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's put our sentiment on there, and to help this pop up a little bit, I'm going to use this leftover part that I had. Now, where did I go with the sentiment? I think it went flying. It did. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and mount this in the center of this. And then I'm going to cut that with my scissors as a banner. And instead of doing glue on this glimmer paper, I'm going to use some of my little glue dots that I have from leftover from a paper pumpkin to put on there. You could use mini glue dots that you can also buy in a package to just do this part. You could use glue. I would just hold on to it, press it down good, or you could use the Terran tape as well to hold this in place on top of the glimmer paper. Okay. I am going to, once I cut this into a banner, I am going to pop it up on the front of the card with dimensionals, the whole, the double banner that I'm creating here. Okay. So now I'm going to attach this with a little leeway on one side. Center that, trim it a little bit on this side with the same amount of space. And then I'm going to make the banner just by clipping in the middle, going from the corner to the middle, and the corner to the middle. And do the same thing over here. This is actually a little bit longer. I'm going to cut a little bit of that off. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and get our dimensionals here. All right. And then I'm going to center this up a little bit. Right, and now to embellish, which is really fun with this because it's going to make it pop. So I'm going to take the Rhinestone Basic Jewels and use the largest one and put at least 3 of these large ones through here. So, oops, kind of slid over a bit. I want it right in the middle of that one. Okay, and then there is the center of the big firework here. Actually, I have a ring that I can put around there. I think I'm going to do it in, see if I can find it in the red. It'll help the embellishments stick out a little more. So let's see if I can find it in between all of those. Okay. And then I'm going to put the center into that. And then let's see, we need a third. I think I'm going to put it right down here in the middle of this one. And now we're going to go for some medium-sized ones. And now this is more than you usually see me put on a card, but I am going to keep an odd number. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's number 6. Let's do some little ones. Number 7. Oh, I need a medium one here. 8. All right. And number 9. There we go. And then in the center, I had one, but I didn't want to put something that popped up. So instead, I got some sequins. These are iridescent sequins. And I thought I would just put one of those in the middle. So it will catch the light and shine, but they could still write right over it if they wanted to. So that's in there for some shine. And you've got, you know, the fireworks. You could make these more sparse if you wanted to. Or you can have them light up the sky, right? So that is the card for today. Let me go back to this one and say, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this helped to get you warmed up for the fireworks that hopefully you'll be enjoying. I also wanted to just let you know today starts something called bonus days at Stampin' Up! And anything that is purchased up to $50 and in $50 increments. Let's see, I know you need to see this again. You earn $5 for every $50 purchased during the month of July, from today to July 31st. There's no limit on how many $5 coupons you can earn, and they'll be sending them to you via email. Then you save those emails, and during the month of August then, on any purchase, you can use those $5 coupons, and you can use them as many as you have up to the amount of the product. You don't get cash back, but you will get it as payment for your products. So it's a great way if you want to buy some basic supplies. The new online exclusive products launched today as well. So don't forget to go online to my store and take a peek at what's new. There's Christmas stuff there and some other really neat items. And along with that, I'm still offering the Lighter Than Air 4-card free tutorial that could be used for this set, for balloons, or for anything. There are 4-card designs, suggestions for colors, products, and then just how to put together a really nice looking card. So that would be emailed from me to you when you have at least a $50 purchase during the month of July. So looking to see if there are any questions. Oh, I'm glad you love it, Patricia. And Kay, you're welcome. Yes, bright and happy, Mary Ellen. Thank you for sharing, Mary Ellen. You do such a nice job by doing that and getting this out to others. Um, Kathy, I'll have to try that word cucumber and see what happens. Anyway, oh, thanks, Kathy. They do have some nice new kits out too. Every month now they put out 2 new kits, plus the ones that are already there. And you're very, very welcome, Kathy, and everyone that joined me today. So let's go back to this. And I'll say happy 4th of July. And don't forget, I'm Tracy Rather from Plum Crazy Stamping. And if there's anything that I can do to make stamping easier for you, don't hesitate to reach out to me at Tracy, TRACI, at plumcrazystamping.com. Take care, folks, and I'll look forward to seeing you. Oh, I'm glad I'm thinking of this. Next week, I will not see you on Wednesday. I'm going on vacation. It's the first 1-week vacation I've had since I've started this business. So I won't be on, but I'll be thinking of you and hoping that you're enjoying your stamping while I take a break. Anyway, take care. I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye now.